Okay. Hopefully that did fix it. What the heck? It still says derusting on Twitch. That's crazy. I just opened the Twitch Stream Manager, changed the information, hit done. It showed, and then it changed. Some bot is up to some absolute comprehensive shenanigans. Is it at least correct on YouTube? So that'd be especially annoying. It still says that's insane! I'm manually changing it everywhere. Why does it still say that title? Oh, man. I mean, derusting isn't the worst thing to call this, but also I need to figure that out, because that's really dumb. I cannot understand why it would be doing that. Okay. Ugh. Alright. Thanks for stopping by, Mason. Hello, Strata_Gem. It is me. Hi, Spyburb. Well, the experimentation wasn't supposed to be with the streaming software. That wasn't what I was supposed to have to experiment with. I have seen Hyperdive yet. I am much more familiar with the term Hyperdive now than I was 2 days ago. I've been looking into it and have actually been interviewing the people who came up with it. And there might be discussion of that to be had at some future date. Don't intoxicate him with this hyperdive word. I think hyperdive... I'm well aware that it is totally unproven. I think that most of the people who are proponents of it will also say that at top level, yes, it is unproven. I don't actually care that much about it being unproven because I think it's interesting. I think there's a story to tell there. So, if for no other reason than to chase that story, I'm definitely gonna look into it more. But I'm well aware that there is a lot of skepticism about it. There's a lot of strong opinions one way or the other about it. And I'm in the midst of processing that. The cool thing with the way that this channel currently exists right now is that I don't need to put out a daily upload, which means I don't need to form my opinions as quickly. I can be more of a nosy journalist and ask more and more questions and get further and further down into it and do really deep dives on things, because there's no real time limit for me to be done with that investigation. So, I mean, historically for me, the longer it takes for me to make a video, the less likely it is for that video to be made. But, on the other hand, it means that at least I'm learning more before I make anything about it, which I think is cool. But, hello, K-Bot. And hello, Baha, and hello, Zonix. Good to see everybody. And pardon me for eating. I am on holiday still, which I know not everybody is, and for that I apologize. I own up to my privilege. But the the consequence of that is that I got up a little bit on the late side, so I'm not super hungry for lunch, but I kind of need to eat a little bit to get me through the stream. So, I don't know. Meal schedule's kind of a mess. But... Hello, Squeezer Wasabi. So I have a couple of ideas for this stream. One of them that's pretty easy is that Splat World series happened. Granted, this was longer ago than I thought it was. Apparently it was 5 months ago. But I do still think it's worth watching. It feels like it feels like, if I'm not wrong, this is like the most recent top level West versus Japan kind of situation that's played out. And I think that's worth watching. I think their NA championships is probably worth watching too. I haven't gone and taken a look at those yet, I don't think. Maybe I've seen like the finals. I feel like that's something I would have paid attention to, but I'm drawing a blank. Maybe if I see team names and stuff on the screen, I'll remember exactly what it was. So that's one thing. I don't want to start with that because VOD reviewing is not the most exciting thing to start with. But one other thing that has been really interesting to me is that they added this series weapon power thing. And I think that that is fascinating. I think that is a great way to evaluate your weapon choices if it works the way that I think it does. And I want to play with this a little bit. Do things like... I want to poke at the system itself. I want to investigate... can I figure out, here's my really weak weapon, here's my really strong weapon, what's my range? And then play certain weapons that I'm actually interested in learning about, seeing if this is a good choice for me, and really test that theory by playing matches on it and seeing what kinds of powers I get. For example, I was messing earlier with the custom blaster, and I had a game where I kind of popped off, got a 20 bomb, but now that I'm looking at this series weapon power, 1600 is not... not in the range of a weapon that I should be maining, right? So, obviously, I don't have nearly as much experience on this one as I have on this guy. This should really be a 10-star, because I think I have, like, the clones of it that are... here's one... I've 4-starred this, apparently, and then I've 4-starred this, too. So, like, between those two weapons, that should be bringing the total up to this 6 million that I actually would have needed for the 10-star. Just splattershot things, We have so many kits that 2 of them are the same kit. But in any case, like, I'm really interested in looking at this as a metric for improvement, as a metric for identifying which weapons you should be trying to push. And I'm really interested in looking at a few weapons that I've been considering playing. Things like the blaster, things like the 52. Do I even have a power for this 52? I don't. And the slosher too. Okay, so this is lower than I thought it would be. So like I want to see... I want to get some data into my game on these different weapons and see what conclusions that leads me to. Super Jump is worth watching. Cool, thank you. Am I eating an apple? No. So here's the food show and tell. I've got a bagel and a banana, and then for when that runs out, I have a bag of pretzels. So... if you start hearing crinkly noises, it is because I have eaten more food than I currently have, and now the bag of pretzels is open. Spout World Series is pretty harrowing for NA. Yeah, I heard that things did not go super well for us there, which I'm not especially surprised about. It's like... I think one part of it is that there was a previous world championship thing, um, the one the Jackpot won. That one, it was a strange team to end up being selected for Japan for one thing, because they were, if I remember correctly, like a turf war super team. So, like, if the whole thing had been in turf war, they would have absolutely been stronger than they were, having to play all modes. And on top of that, we had this team that, of course, has since disbanded, that up until that point was doing a lot of scrimming with Japan. They were like, I think that team, and I don't know what they've gone on to be doing since, but at the time, I did a little bit of an interview with them a few months before everything went down, and they were doing a lot of like messing with their sleep schedule to try and be able to play more with Japan. Like, that's kind of what it felt like. They just wanted as much data on those teams as they could have. They wanted to play with them as much as they could. And it was like getting to the point where I feel like they kind of just wanted to learn a little bit of Japanese to be able to do as much study on that region as they were doing. It was about as exhaustive as I've ever seen any NA team try to get to know them. Granted, I'm not super in touch with all of the top level teams, and so there may be some efforts that I haven't been aware of on that front, but what they were doing was pretty intense. And with that team disbanding, even if, you know, certain members of them splintered and went off on to do other things, like, that was, I think, a connection to the Japanese scene that was lost a little bit. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. I've got FT Win versus Utopia pulled up on my computer right now, and that'll be something we'll watch. But be sleeping while you stream. Good luck on the games. Well, have a good sleep. Assuming European or something like that. But have a good night. Bad thing, if you go over 2K weapon power, you won't get a match. Oh, yeah. I feel that's another thing that's happened recently. What is this channel's relationship with Twitch stream predictions? I don't know what that means. Regarding the weapon power, I've finally come around to the decision that I'm going to need to switch over to the Japanese server, because before, my thinking was, well, I'm not consistently getting to 2,500, 2,600 powers. I'm not getting up to that point where people aren't being able to find matches anymore. Then I got to 2,100, and I tried to lobby up 3 times in a row and did not get a match 3 times in a row. And my rank at that time was like number 224, which I am not the 224th best Splatoon player in North America. That is... If you told me back in Splatoon 2 that I would ever rank that high, I'd be like, wow, I got so much better. Like, that's just beyond what I have expected to be at in recent times. But it's just because everybody's jumping ship and going over to the other server. So, as soon as that switches up, I feel like I'm going to have to do it. Yeah, top-level teams hardly exist at the moment. The NA League provided some stability on this side of the pond, but I doubt most of those will continue being teams. Yeah, I think that a lot of the time when you get a tournament that's that big, it's as big as like the NA League, it's good for stimulating the game until it happens. But then you get the same problem that you get with Ludi seasons, where teams were like kind of hanging on until they could finish this target event, and then they split again. Maybe the work ethic that the top teams were maintaining during that time was tiring, and they wanted the break after it was done to get off of that schedule. So, yeah, I returned to pick up soup. And that's not necessarily a bad place for it to be in. Sometimes you need to restructure things. Sometimes you need a little bit of a controlled burn, so to speak. But... Ooh, wait a minute. Well, it would appear that YouTube chat is not coming through on stream. Or on Restream. Let's see if there's anything I can do to fix that. Yeah, it's still saying offline. Okay, well, what's going on YouTube? If I have to, I will have all of the streams open. Manually on separate tabs. Keeping track of it that way. That's what it has to be, that's what it has to be. Okay, well, let's go. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there are a bunch of chat messages that I've just not been seeing. God, that's so annoying. Is there a pop-out? Good, there's a pop-out menu for that. Alright. My goodness. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to really quick just try to do some work to catch up on the YouTube chat. I've got Twitch open on one side, YouTube open on another, and I guess we'll just have to... Okay. First of all, thank you for the donation, Cherry Blossom. I hope you have an amazing day, too. There's a question about Hyperdive, because that came up earlier. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of investigation on Hyperdive and what that is, and there's hopefully a big video diving into it that I'm going to put out in the future here. So that will be a topic in maybe a week or so. But I want to kind of have all of my ducks in a row for that, and I have time to do that now. So, do I like Gleam's Shot? I definitely like Gleam's Shot. I have been playing quite a bit of it, and I'm now realizing that my headphones are not plugged in to my computer, which is silly of me. I've just been wearing headphones that are doing absolutely nothing. So that's fantastic. Man, the tech on this stream is old and going out of date. I need to just do some R&D in the background to get it back into a more functional state. Hello again to all of the YouTube folk. For it being called Bermuda Triangle. Where did Bermuda Triangle come from? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Healthy diet food groups have been described to play a Bermuda rectangle strategy rather than the typical tacticler. Oh, okay. So you enter this zone and you disappear forever. So they're trying to play a zoning playstyle. Got it. That makes sense to me. And I'm surprised that that's not more common than it is. Because I think for the last couple years, we've been seeing a lot of Japanese teams that are willing to run, like, triple midline. And it just, aside from, I think Healthy Diet Food Groups does something like that. But, like, I just really have not been seeing anyone try that in the West. And I feel like we're getting closer to it right now because we're running like pencil and a painting weapon so that you can run 2 midline slayer weapons. But that is definitely interesting. Yeah, for the freshness, right? Like the headband of the headphones is there to just keep my hair out of my eyes. Maybe that's the idea. There was totally a purpose. It was intended all along. Sure. Spotted you playing Gleams. Yes, definitely. I'm happy to be back too. Thanks, Tetra. Okay. So are we only seeing Twitch on? Oh, that's so weird. We're seeing YouTube on the stream. So why is it not showing up? Okay, 1 second. I need to test the thing. So that should show up on my, because I just put a message into YouTube chat, and that should show up. Oh my god! Why does that work when I literally have Restream open, and it's not working there? This is insane. Okay, well, okay, we only needed me to test it, you guys. and it mine was the first one, so mine is the one that's gonna go through. That was we just flooded the YouTube chat for no reason. Yeah, this is all very weird. So anyway, let's actually play some video games. So I think the first thing I want to do is I want to get numbers for my 52 gal. I am curious what sort of power this ends up at. So in case you're just showing up, because it's been like 5 minutes since I talked about this, I'm very interested in the series weapon power feature here. I think this could give some potentially very strong data on what weapons I should be pursuing, and I want to see where that ends up for a variety of different weapons here. So I'm just going to play some series, because that happens to be a decent map mode combination right now. And I'm interested in playing a bunch of different weapons, getting those powers, and comparing them. And what I'll probably play like a few matches to get warmed up, but then what I also want to do is get a range. By that I mean I want to play weapons that I don't normally play, that I'm going to be bad with, so that I can get a sense of like what's my low end, what's my high end. Compare my splatter shot, which is going to be my strongest, to what's my weakest, and then where do all of the other weapons in between fall. So that could be fun. Alright, double backline for both teams. Gonna be fighting Decav and Brush. Means gotta be careful to not get sharked. Okay, well, that's a trade. Hopefully that gives him the range that he needs to go challenge that. There we go. Healing just a little bit before I hop back up. Yeah. That was an example of a backline weapon grabbing the tower, which is body language for go up and push because I can't do that for you. That was a worthwhile trade, I would say. I think the wall was really helping for a lot of the push here, for relieving pressure on teammates. I should probably be jumping out of this. That's not going to accomplish anything, not with my teammate down. Okay. Yes, teammate goes down and then you take tower. That's how that works. Well, I guess you've got the vac to back it up. It's annoying how long they've been able to stay on here. I just haven't gotten someone else to shoot at it with me. I hit him once. Curse this weapon's accuracy. Okay. I'm gonna cut this guy off, because that's a surer fight win than it is against the decav. And now the decav's isolated in mid, team can pick them off. So, good collapse from the rest of my team there. Beautiful pick there. Let's get this moving, and I'm okay with riding for now, because I don't want to just, like, face tank that corner. Yeah, Brush was going to drop, but we knew that was coming, so we just stayed safe. Team was able to pick it up. Hopefully that wasn't super loud for you guys like it was in my ear. If it was, let me know. What are you trying to do by going that way? So you came all the way around. Ah, my splash wall got destroyed by the tower coming around the corner. That's so lame. 52 shoots super fast now. Oh, shoot. Literally only 1 frame spent in the air. That's kind of insane, considering it did not need that. Oh, well. This is problematic. Well, they missed. And now they're down. Now you're vacking. I wanted to rotate around the tower because I realized that they might, like, dash at me as they landed. And I didn't want to be in a predictable spot and get one shot. Okay, that got one of them to drop, which might make them vulnerable. Oh, well. It's funny, we didn't lock them out of their base because they were already out of their base by the time we got there. Hi, go away. Thank you. And we'll get them eventually. There we go. That was just me trusting that they were going to miss. In theory, I could have lost that fight, and I shouldn't have taken it the way that I did. So that brush has to keep moving. They didn't keep moving. Decav, I'm forcing them towards the tower, unfortunately. Which is not really ideally what I wanted to be doing, but I was taking pressure from the rest of their teammates. Ah, this is so hard to get in on. Let's just go and drop on this guy. There we go. And Brush is next to it. I'm not really trying too hard to get anything going here. We don't need to. We just need to... Oh, well, we won the game already. Okay, so now I need a way of seeing when people do things. VPeople has used 10,000 bits? Oh my goodness. VPeople? What? Thank you. That's insane. Does that even show up on... Oh my god, this restream chat is so useless to me. I am just closing it and opening up the Twitch chat. Okay. So opening that, and then where is my stream? Chat. There. There, we'll put it like there. Do you know how I should sit in my chair to avoid long-term problems to my back? So I am not a doctor. Do not take this as medical advice. However, the advice that I have heard that I trust the most says that the best posture to sit in is the one that you switch to next. That is, you don't want to sit in one way the whole time. That's going to cause more strain than if you're constantly shifting positions. Just don't let the strain sit on one spot for such an incredibly long time. Doing the same thing repetitively that tends to cause musculoskeletal injuries. Obviously, if you're doing something strenuous, it'll hurt sooner, but even the smallest, most simple of movements can become strenuous over. Wow, that was loud, but I hope it wasn't super loud for you guys too. And I realize I did not check chat to see what everyone's response to the question of if it was too loud was. It was pretty loud. It was super loud. Great. Love that. Figuring out how to turn that down, because I don't actually know what source it's coming from. Oh my god. And of course, this is the part where everyone decides to start. Let's see. Oh, okay, so this was a gift sub. Gift subs from Chili Chinchilla. Thank you, Chili. God. Okay, so I'm gonna take this slider and move this and see if that makes it better. I think we should get another sound alert soon. That was still loud. Is that just coming through? Did that make it substantially quieter on your end? Is it still loud on mine, but it might be better on yours? Question mark? Maybe? Wishful thinking? Not really? Oh my god. Okay. It's crazy too, because I've never heard those sound alerts before. That's not usually what it sounds like. There's some disconnect between this and Restream that's causing it to do a default sound. And I don't know where that's coming from. Wow. This stream is really held together by toothpicks and bubblegum right now. But thank you everybody so much for the donations, for the bits, the gift subs. That's super kind of everyone. Okay. Can we just pop this out and leave this big? Yes, we can. Okay. That's what we do. So we have chat number 1. My screen is absolute vomit right now. There's way too much on here. That wasn't bad? Oh, okay, so wait, the sound alerts are better now? Maybe it did fix something and I was just looking too far behind. Anyway, use channel points to silly comp instead of being financially irresponsible. Yes, that is... I think you need like 10,000 of them, so it's going to take a minute, but I'm sure you probably are close. Did this give me a power yet? No, it didn't. And it doesn't seem to actually tell you how many matches you have left to play before you get the power, also. Test. Thank you, V people. You already gave 10,000 bits, and then you just hear another one for the sake of testing the audio. Still loud, okay. It might be something that I can check. Let's see, stream settings. So that sounds pretty normal. It's just the Twitch stuff that's sounding too loud. How did I set that up before? Which window was that? Not looking for that. Studio mode, layout editor. Probably that. Oh god. There are too many settings for me to sift through. I think I'm just going to have to tank the loud noises for now. Sorry, y'all. But thank you so much for the hype train. And... well, we've played one game of Splatoon so far. It's been 40 minutes of streaming. We got that far, so that's progress, right? It's 15k channel points? Wait, did I misread? I see 10,000. Oh, 10,000, 15,000 channel points. I'm dumb. That was bits, and I'm confusing it for another number. Okay. Thanks for the sub, CD the player. Appreciate you. Alrighty. So I'm gonna play until I get a series power on my 52, and then I'm gonna go and try and find a weapon that I'm awful with, and try and get a power on that for the sake of comparison. Yeah, y'all watch the stream religiously enough that we actually had to increase the price of the comps. I thought 10,000 was like, we will get one in a blue moon, but it was happening every week. Open the game hub? Like, I can't press the X menu if that's what you mean. First Sunday Back actually has at least a full 8 comps now. Like, I think it's like second and third and fourth streams that I'm a little more worried about for numbers, but like everyone wants to have something in the first stream back, you know? They've had ideas circulating in their heads for months now. I've been waiting for having my back to the enemy team to come back to bite me for a minute now. But no, we're just good. Nice, that's one down. So now we have to start taking space a little further forward here. I thought I was dead there. Thought I just missed for too long. Okay. Would like to have a little bit less than a 1v3 for a minute here. I hope things are happening, because I stayed in there for so long. Okay, at least we got a couple. But man, it felt like that should have resulted in something a little bit sooner than it did. Yeah. As soon as I saw that bomb come through, I was like, ooh, I have not considered everything there is to this situation. Okay, that's 2 down. Well, they got one down here, which means there's still someone around. That's what's going on. They keep getting jumps. Very sloppy aim on my part there, but fortunately I didn't need to be super accurate. That's one. Ugh. Okay. The big bubbler on mid doesn't help. Schlorp can't come back, he's too powerful. Schlorp isn't a bad idea. I actually think I probably have worse weapons, though. Like, I'm probably worse on an H3 or something like that. Oh, boy. I need to try and fight more with my team, I guess. It's like, I should be initiating, but I should be initiating closer to them. Well... Go away. You go away. Oh. I am lucky to be alive. Again, like, I feel like we could probably have won that fight. We had a lot of momentum. All we kind of needed was for the, like, Clash Blaster to hold forward and hold down the ZR button. We probably would have gotten, like, at least 2 for them. Okay. Kamiku comp with inverted fight. Well, no, I'm not going to do the inverted sticks thing again. This is actually trying to win with them. Otherwise, there's not too much of a point in doing it. Well... Man. Am I going in and staggering? Like, I feel like I'll go in and have the attention of a lot of enemy players. And then it'll end up being the case that there's still nobody in the fight with me, even though most of the enemy team is watching me. Yeah, we can't contest that yet. That's just insta-death if I make the wrong move. Now we go back. We kind of have to take tower here. And prevent jumps as well. Ah, this is bad. Yeah. Okay, teammate followed up there, which is good. Ooh. Oh, and I'm not on tower right now. Yeah, that's game. What's your opinion on the Carbon Roller Fizzy Bomb Super Chump kit? So on paper, there are a lot of parts of that work, but they're kind of like the bargain bin versions of what works on that weapon. Like, chumps are cool because it gives you like a forest of things to shark into. It's like you can set yourself up to get into a space that you normally wouldn't be able to paint that well. And Fizzy Bomb is a good movement option. It's not better than Curling Bomb for what it's trying to do, but it's like budget Curling Bomb. I don't actually know what the damage combo is like with Fizzy. That's a big factor, because one of the problems with Carbon is that it doesn't one-shot reliably with the main weapon by itself. So you need some other damage combo to go with it for it to be able to slay quickly. Burst Bomb is ideal for that, but Fizzy could potentially do the trick. It could be like the next best thing after Burst Bomb. I'm trying... Maybe like Line Marker is the only other thing I could think. Would be a next best. Thanks for the sub, Abyssa. So, a lot of roller players have been saying that they don't like it. But I'm willing to hear out someone who thinks it could be run somewhere, because there are definitely some parts of it that seem to work. Icy Anchor, there have been a lot of technical difficulties, one of which is that the stream title is not updating the way that it usually does. So you are correct, that is not what the stream title should be. And unfortunately, I don't have much I can do about that at the moment. Okay. Got him chased out of that bubble. Actually got a second one, which means we can cut this guy off. Or he can inkjet me in the face. Where's that cooler? It's on the right side. Shooting gallery back here. Let's go. Huge, huge, huge. And thanks for the resub, Moonlit Dastard. Appreciate you. And we have a DC. Oh, wait. Did it happen after a minute? Oh, no. We might have to play this out for the full length of time. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I mean, I know it happened right after we got a triple, but we didn't actually bankroll that push for very much. We only got one checkpoint, which is nothing on this map. Everyone's going to get that first check. So now it's me, a Dynamo, and a Hydra. I definitely thought I could back far enough away from that. I don't know why I did. It is a slosher. It does have that range. Just straight up missed him on landing. Wasn't even worth it to chase, because I needed to clear tower. Just the junior. Right there. Not there anymore. This is theoretically doable. Oh. This is going to be hard for my team. I can't even... I really don't like that we had that 2-down situation effectively, and they're both riding tower. Like, that's never a position that you want two backliners to be, but especially not when there's literally nobody covering any other angle. See if this gets us in and lets us do anything. Nope. Just end the game, please. Thank you. What a game. This is background noise for actual study hall. There we go. There we go. We love that. Hi, Shaluna. Fizzy slander? Like, Fizzy is better than Curling Bomb in general. I just don't think it's better for mobility than Curling Bomb. Like, the fact that it can do most of what Curling can do, but is an actual offensive poking sub-weapon, I think puts it well above Curling Bomb. That's what my actual opinion of that is. Happy New Year A few years ago, videos inspired me to get into the game, get better at the game. I've really enjoyed seeing the game in a new way, participating in comp and lands. Nice. Thanks for being here. It's good to have you. What team did you pick? So for Silly Comp Sunday purposes, we're being team friends. That's what's going on. Do you still eat that barley soup? I haven't in a minute. I do have it from time to time, though. I like to mix it with noodles these days, because it's not a full meal by itself. Bagging was insane. I wasn't going to say anything about it, but it's like, bro, I had a Dynamo and a Hydra that were both on tower, so that made it a 1v3. Like, yeah, you're probably going to win that one. Weapon power progress under the series progress when you press L while queuing. Okay. Well, I don't have it yet, but I will definitely check that now. So press L while queuing. Series weapon power 2 out of... Oh, wow, okay, I didn't have any of this at all. So that's actually going to take a minute, but it's probably for the best, because that way I'm going to actually warm up before I try my bad weapons. Thanks for that, Beast Mode. Appreciate it. The chat yearns for soup tier list too. My diet has been weird recently. I recently went through a process of basically making my grocery bills cheaper. So I'm eating a little bit differently than I used to. Romeo is currently not in the room with me, oddly enough. He's off snoozing someplace else, but he's capable of getting in whenever he wants, so I will be sure to note his presence. Oh. I was just about to put a wall out there. Bastion's behind them, and they know it's perfect. Love that. They're all going in on that side, so I go in on this side, and we shoot at the players who are shooting at our teammates, and we get a double. I had him once. Teammate might not be able to capitalize on that, but I don't think that's a safe place to go for jumps. Yeah, 20 is still a pretty good push. What we want to do at this point is make it so they can't get much on their own. So I want to hole up over here and make it hard for them to work their way in on the left side. That's one. Oh, I had my aim on the other one too, but I guess tower got me. Now, Luna's been coming in from angles that I haven't been seeing. They're not even running Ninja Squid. I'm just, like, not spotting them. There's someone above me. There they are. So maybe that's where they've been coming from this whole time. They've just been doing, like, jumps around from left. Where is everybody? What is going on? Like, it's not like we got that many members of the enemy team, but I didn't see anyone with my whale. Someone down here-ish. Get that off. Things. I'm pretty separated from everybody. One right there, bucket right here. They drop a bomb or something? Oh no, they just dropped a slosh on top of me. That roller is kind of out in Narnia right now. Like, they have a pinch angle, but... Oh, well, they got two. Maybe it was worth. There we go. I'm gonna hop up here, get some special charge, get some paint. The bombs are coming from that way. Ah, that was unfortunate timing for a teammate to go down right in the middle of that. Beautiful. Tower almost got me killed there, but not quite. Just a little behind on my aim there. Oh, boy. Well, at least we got him. It's a really awkward position to put a blaster in when you stand right in front of them. Because it's actually really hard for them to hit a direct compared to if you... or rather... It's slightly easier for them to hit a direct, but it's also impossible for them to get indirect damage if you're too close. And they have a really slow fire rate, so they have to commit to their shot pretty hard. This is still fine. We're still winning this. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. What's the best short-range shooter? Splash. Splash is... Crab is, like, really situational, I think. You need to have it set up and in a good spot. So there are some situations where you might not want to play it, but I think in places where it's good... Or in, like, situations where it's good. It's not like it's bad on any map, but it's not like you can just instantly pop a crab and know that it's going to have value. Like, it takes setting up. You have to work your way into it. And some team comps might not want to play that way. But in places where it's something that you need on the comp, I think Splash is still very strong. If we're gonna allow this to be called a short-range shooter, then the Frozen Pro is, I think, in a bit of a better spot. That's if I have to play the game competitively right this second, I'm picking Frozen Pro. Hi, Telwyn! It wasn't supposed to be called derusting, actually, but for whatever reason, I cannot update my stream title right now. I'm even, like, going in on Twitch and manually changing the name from derusting to study hall, and it just switches back, and I have no idea why that's happening. I stopped the stream to do that, too, so it's not that, like... The fact that I'm, like, actively involved in it either. Alright. 2 more matches, and then we've got our 52 power. Jamie's offering to change the name. Yeah, I mean, try it, Jamie. Here, you don't know what I'm trying to change it to, though, so I need to send you that. That's what that means. There, I have DM'd Jamie. Derusting 3 Rust's Bane. Oh, also. Oh, okay, we got a shout out to Talwin. For salmon run stuff. Thanks, Jamie. Okay, so we've got an insane dive comp on their team, which is just going to be pretty easy to kite. Like so. My weapon kills faster. With the exception of the roller and maybe the dapples? I think dapples have to hit 3 shots, don't they? So mine's probably quicker. I need to not get close to it, but that's totally doable. Where did that guy go? He's here. From behind. I should have had way more there. I just couldn't get my aim on fast. I do have a hammer that might come out soon. There it is, and I was too close to it. Did they hit the wall with that? That's... Missiles incoming. Oh, what are you doing here? Stop that. Ow. No, double watching. Thanks, Pink MB. Thank you for boosting my stream stats. My numbers, they're up. Okay, look, I at least hit 1 shot. I may not have hit very many, but I did hit 1. Very clean retake there. Sorry for the loud noises. Thank you for the cheer. I have no idea how to say your name. I'm gonna say seaweed, even though that's totally wrong. Oh wow, I thought I was gonna be far enough away to not die to that. I could have ducked to the other side of my wall. KO range now. Well, everybody died. This is sad. Have you experienced throwing a hammer yet? Oh yeah, I know it's way like they just got rid of the indirect damage and made the whole thing kill, right? Something insane like that. I actually have to go. All right. Thanks for being here, though. Good to see you. Hello, a Voister. Or AV Oyster. How long are you streaming for a few hours. I'm going to be trying out some weapons. I have a VOD review to go and do when there's a lull or when I want to take a break from playing. Happy streaming. Welcome back by. Thank you. Beast mode. So a lot of stuff can play out after it says game. And if you like see on the results screen that the zone is capped in your color, that might be, for example, like a suction bomb got thrown on the zone and didn't explode until after game was up. It'll still resolve that bomb exploding though. So what you see at the end isn't necessarily what it was when the game ended. These are pretzels, little sourdough pretzels. And hello, that crosshair guy, and Genos. That's not a jump I can make. Beautiful. Good job on my teammate there. They understood the assignment. And they don't even get to go in. Beautiful game. Long time listener, first time caller. Haven't seen that one before, but I like it. The Big Swig guy says, "Hello, may I give a weapon recommendation?" I wonder what that weapon recommendation will be. Okay, that should be the last game for the power. I bet we might have ended up a little on the low side, but we'll see. It's actually higher than I was expecting it to be. But, okay. So, the gold standard right now is the splatter shot. Anything, I'd say like 2K or higher, is something that I'd like probably consider taking into comp. Like, glamours, I'm trying to work up to that point. We're pretty much there. 52 is like super close and could definitely work in some situations. Blaster, not doing quite so hot. I could probably get that number up, but so that's what I'm trying to do now. Is I want to go and play something that I'm going to be terrible at, so that I get a power that shows like the low end for me. My weakest class is probably Chargers. Maybe if we just like put me on an E-liter. Would E-liter be my worst? E-liter's probably my worst. Oh no, actually, this is going to be my worst weapon. I do not know what I'm doing with this thing. Ooh, I do not have 2 super jump patches on any of this. You know what? I'm fixing that right now. Going out to the city. Are you a father? No, I am not. Anarchy Nova. I'm too good at inkjet. That's not going to be a weak weapon for me. Oh, oh. I was just trying to spam through your dialogue, okay? Say less, and then maybe I won't do that. Okay, there we go. Cat dad, sure. That's not false. Okay. Let's get an anarchy power. I was about to say anarchy power, lol. On this weapon that I do not ever play. Okay, it's 40 for a tap shot. And is it 68? Yeah, 68. Goodness. At least full combos with one of those. That's nice. Okay, I charge a little bit. Charge about that much. I've got a 50. That's good to know too. Gem would never convert to L3. L3 maddens me right now because it got the kit that Splattershot should have got. The Splat Bomb Inkjet. Just give it... It already had the perfect kit in Splatoon 2. Just give that kit back. That's all I want in life. L3 isn't bad. It is hard. And I do think being hard is a downside. Let's just try... Okay, that's a leader. As a wise squid once said, pencil shot combos with pencil shot. Just hit him twice. Damage combo. Built in right there. Throw the hammer at me, thank you. Alright, go get him. Oh my god. This is fine. See, I told you it was fine. Where did that come from? Oh, there they are. Using shit to save my life. I do have a video on From back when Ballpoint got Inkjet, there were a whole bunch of backliners that I was realizing had no idea how to use that special. And so I took it upon myself as someone who had been inkjetting for a long time to educate people on the subject. I should have gotten sniped there. I got him once. There we go. We follow up on that. Now we just need to take the zone. We had the numbers advantage. I thought we should have been able to get there. Okay, why is nobody shooting him in the back or something? That shouldn't have worked. I ran the hammer deliberately away from my teammate, which... It's kind of like luring a steel eel in Salmon Run. I guess maybe they were afraid to turn their back to the rest of the enemy team. That would have made sense. I don't know. We're expecting to lose these games. And I'm going to try my best for the sake of the power being accurate and everything. But, again, goal here is not to win. It is to get a baseline understanding of like what my lowest powers should be near. I do like Rainbow. That is a cool name for that. Even though it's a little confusing because it makes you think it would have Inkstorm. Do you have any videos from before my hiatus? There was one video that I was... Actually, there are a couple of videos that were in progress and are as of yet unfinished. Various reasons for not going back to those right now. Do you have a Discord where I can share the clip? There is a Discord, which I think this command should work. Oh wait, no, that's in YouTube chat. I don't know if it'll work. The problem right now is that Restream chat is on the fritz, and so I don't know if any of my commands will work. Nice. Yeet. Leader's over there. Not much that I could do there. I needed to get out of there faster, just recognize I was in danger and jump out. Which is not an impulse that I'm as good at, because I'm not an anchor player. Oh, I didn't actually have charge for that. That sucks. Go. Am I not painting correctly? I feel like I'm putting out less paint on the zone than I feel like I should be capable of. But that's gonna be game. This is going as expected. Later, Misty Aura. Tyrone Elmos and Air Lynx and Esme. Yeah, I really wasn't putting out that much paint on the zone. I wonder what it is I need to do differently. Popped off and got steamrolled. That's two very different things. Don't hold the shots, just paint. If I'm fighting, I feel like I need to hold the shots to just line them up a little bit better, but I guess I could be trying to think about where I'm placing these shots while I'm charging them. That might save me some time. Well, thanks, Airlinks. So do you still have to release the button to get the shot to fire on this? Mashing was oddly slow there. Hello, Teru. Right, sure, and that's something I was trying to set up. Like, I actually succeeded against that shot earlier. Your position falls apart so quickly if someone goes down. Well, we got him trapped. Teammates should be able to clean up. He actually missed one of the ones that I trapped, but still pretty good. Problem is, Elier is still allowed to do things. And I can hit him once, but then they're just going to snipe me. Whew. Yeah, that's just kind of game over. I hope I get a game where I do win, so it at least, like, gives me... Because if I just lose 5 in a row, maybe I still have further to fall before the power is actually accurate. Yes, I am currently playing what I think is probably at least one of my worst weapons in the entire game. And I'm doing this to try and get what the lower range of my series weapon power is. You can see I've got 2 more games to play, and then we'll have a good sense. Yeah, I know the stream title says derusting, but we tried to... I literally changed the title manually. Like, going into Twitch and also doing it through Restream. And both times, it just didn't update. And I cannot understand why. It's never happened that way before. So something's going wrong on the software side that I'll need to fix eventually. It's supposed to be called Study Hall, but whatever. I didn't know the range super well. I thought I could walk out of the range and then just drop down if they got too close, but I was off by a little bit. Oh. Well. Yikes. Playing too close to the Hydra. I'm pretty sure I outrange it. I just need to find exactly where that spot is at the edge of its range. Let's go. Well. Putting up a little more of a fight here. A little bit of panicking there, but we're fine, because we didn't die. They were actually behind me the whole time. Dang. I was like, I should be dead by now if they're behind me. Okay. I should not have been there. There is still a Hydra. I'm calling them the lost years. It hasn't... I don't think it's been multiple years exactly. It was like close to 2 years. Okay, well, if you're good. Oh. At least we got the Hydra. There were actually a lot of people I could have splatted there, but I did not have the time to do that. Yeah, the lost year and a half is not quite as artistic. So, Hydra's there. Cool. We had control there, right? I was not paying attention at all to the objective. Hey, there we go. Enemy splatter. From 0 and 4 to enemy splatter. Crazy. Let's go X rank next. Maybe not. Maybe we don't do that. Okay, so we still need one more game on this to have a power. Bring it to tourneys. I mean, if they let me back into that A-rank tournament, that might be appropriate. Sendoku set? Oh god, people would hate me for that. GG's, Riffy. Will you do some X today? I could. Right now what I'm doing is I'm playing series because I'm checking out the series weapon power feature and trying to use it to gauge which weapons I should try using competitively. Oh god, that was so bad. I need to lock in, I need to lock in. There we go. Picking up a Switch 2 for Raiders. I am absolutely interested, but I also need to get a Switch 2. That's the first step of that process. Ooh, we have another red pen on the other team. Experimenting with different rollouts because I don't actually know what's faster. Well, guess I probably should have figured that putting up the wall was going to win them that fight. Stands to reason, you know? They were dealing with something on the left there. A little bit too aggressive. A little bit too aggressive. Zuka's out. I can just chill and paint up a little bit here first. Gotta be careful not to jump in here and stagger the team. Got everyone up now. Hopefully we don't go too early. Well, here we go. Awesome. That buys us a lot of time. got a couple tap shots. Still on my ouch! Still on my ouch! Oh no. I don't know why I'm putting myself out there. That was so lazy. Just staggering in one at a time. That'll be game. Unless this caps, which it doesn't. Alright. 1 for 5 is about what we expected there. So let us never speak of this again. Hey, I got 1. All right. Let's see how hilarious this number is. What? That's barely... That's actually higher than this blaster. I am so much better on this blaster. Oh, I need to get this blaster power up. This is stupid. What? I'm not that bad at this thing. I am incensed. Is that everything I need? Yeah, that's everything I want. I mained Blaster for a period of Splatoon 3. It wasn't a very long period, but I did. So the fact that this is so insanely low, I don't understand. Could almost pick Pen over Blaster. It's not happening. See ya, Tokat. Oh. Well, this is unfortunate. So they're just going to camp the jump. Or not. Beautiful. Nice. Good job, roller. And now we have control. That's Azuka. Teammate body blocked for him. He was actually able to get the kill. Of course I land right on top of the Splattershot's head. Gambit T-Tech, huh? It's a bold strategy, Cotton. See how it works out for him. Oh, boy. Ugh, I whiffed everything. It's so annoying. Okay. They're not going for it. Okay, we need to not trickle in. Good, we got a pick there. We should be able to move in a few seconds. Why do they still have zone? Now I'm happy going in here. Clean. Where's the Expo? Expo's dropping there. We know they're ranged decently well. Two, one, there it is. Okay. Series power is wildly inconsistent, heavily dependent on who you're matched. You'll get terrible placements at any prime time, very high placements at JP prime time. Interesting. Okay. So that might be one. That's part of the reason you test things, right? Because I'm looking at this system being like, you know, this would be a great way to figure out which weapons I should be playing. And then I play like one of my worst weapons in the game, and it gets a better power than this. I'll go a few more games on this. I might not go all the way to power. I might get bored of just trying to grind for this one number. Will you do a 10.1 tier list? Probably, but... Well... Yeah, I guess at some point, because that's supposed to be one of the last balanced batches, right? So it's probably going to be not going to be changing for very long, or it's not going to be changing in a pretty long time. For a pretty long time, words. So if it stays consistent for long enough that I can get the hang of it, then probably. But right now, I'm still relearning the game. Still getting more information. My understanding is that the state that it's in, they will patch it, but not on a regular basis. It's more like whenever they darn well feel like it. We really don't have that much paint on this comp. We kind of need to kill them. Do they know? They know now. This is going pretty well so far. Yeah, like, I figure Raiders, it could be, like, branching out into its own thing. I could also see Raiders being sort of like a stopgap to let them be more ambitious with their redesign of Splatoon 4. While still having new content out in the Splatoon franchise in time. That dive into the enemy base might have been a little premature. Oh my god. That wasn't a hard fight to win. I had a bunch of opportunities. I think I sparked them the one time that I did get the second shot off. Nice job. Good follow-up, teammates. Way to see it. Also, hi, Didiot. Welcome from work. I almost stuck down into that. This is fine, because killing me took too long, and now they can't get the zone. Hoping Raiders is an open world concept. Raiders, there's a lot of interesting things it could be. I also like Splatoon primarily for the multiplayer, like the PvP. So it feels like it's not really going to be up my alley, but it's certainly an opportunity to make more content off the game. So I'm not going to complain too much. Good speed game. Yeah, that could be interesting too. E-leader only getting one pick probably means that I was doing my job. Getting dubs at work? Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Think you'll be participating in tournaments in the near future? I absolutely can be. I don't have a team at the moment. So there's... Forming a team would be one thing, getting... I want to get a better sense of my role in the game, too, before I go looking for teammates. You know, whether it's pickups or for a real full thing. Oh, why I shot the wall. Oh. I don't know why I thought I already had splashdown. I went in there fully expecting that I could panic button if I needed to. But... And you're down. Man, the second hit was a direct? Why couldn't the first hit have been the direct? This is fine. They can't get to zone in time. GG. Comp tips. Yeah, for sure. I just do a bunch of Splatoon JP rank advice, Nintendo content. I'll check it out sometime. Oh, did I die to Sprinkler there? That's funny. Squid walking. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to go do. Yeah, I had been thinking about getting involved in making something happen locally where I live before it all went down. It's still probably a bit too early after all of that for me to be getting involved right now. But I do think that, like, local scenes are really important and really cool. And that, like, the local scenes are going to make the majors better. Because you'll have people to root for. You'll have, like, rivalries and stuff like that. Mario Kart World's ranking system. I do not have a Switch 2. Ponytail gem as soon as I remember to actually go and buy hair ties. I don't have any yet, and I just keep forgetting that is a thing I need in order to function right now. They're on the right side. Beautiful. That's exactly the way that I wanted my teammate to follow up. I almost had the thought to get the splashdown off in time. That would have been huge. That's a Dapples. You know, they're not shooting me down out of that. If I get splashdown just like the tiniest bit earlier in any of these engagements, I'm doing better. I'll just wait some of this out. Beautiful. Where's the zone? Get the zone, please. That took way longer than it should have. Two down. They're gonna get cooler soon. See if I can get them before that happens. Well, you missed your chance there. Nice shot. Love that from Papaya. There we go. Special charge custom blaster. Is that what I'm running right now? I don't think that's what I'm running. Oh, as a solution to... Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Have a good rest of the stream. All right, have a good one, Beast Mode. Hi, Sky Thigh. That's amazing. Very happy to see you streaming again. Thank you. Thank you. This had better get me like 300 points when I win this next game. Tell it's been a long time since you uploaded. I've turned into what I once hated, a blaster main. Join us. Be the evil you wish to see in the world. And hello, Harrison. And RE-HC3GZ. Hekegs. Yeah, I don't know. What's the series power right now? Right now it's 1638, but I'm on a 4-0 ticket. We're about to fix that number. I think we can beat that on the left. Oh, I don't want to jump to it, though. That's an annoying first location for the missile to spawn. We got 2 down. We need to go in. Just don't know where people are right now. Close to splashdown here. I want to get that and then go in. Got him with the spark at the end. Updates every match. Oh, well, I feel silly now. Oof. Daimo never misses, you know? Okay. Good job, teammate. Okay, sick. We got one more, and now we should be able to take zone. And there's the quad. Not that I could have done any of that without my teammates being there, but I'm the one who gets the credit. It's my job to get the credit. That should easily be a lead for us, right? Yeah. Now we just dive and do it again. So there's someone shooting me in the back, which I very much don't appreciate. Thank you. So Dynamo's isolated right. Oh, nobody's watching right. They might actually get away with that. Okay, cool. That's 2 down. That guy's marked now. And he's dead. Cool. Didn't even get the shot off in time. That sucks. Good double from them. Our teammates might need to get out of there. Yeah. Need to be a little careful here. If we go down again, it could get really bad really fast. Ooh, they were in there. Okay, here comes some strikes, which are a little bit early. It is just me. And you're dead. Go for zone! Get the zone! Get the zone! The zone is more important than me! I don't have the paints! We need the zone! Oh, we needed the zone! No! Okay. Well, let's go check what the power is now. That should be a good amount to fix this. And happy birthday, Boshi. Opinions on Flux. I'm a main. I need hope in comp. I think the Booyah kit is really good for you. I don't know how good, exactly. We did run a little bit of Reflux in comp back when I was playing. So it's definitely not hopeless. You need to get really good at hitting people with the main weapon, though. That's, I think, the hardest part with that. Like, it does seem a lot harder than just playing a charger. Because you have to get those shots to line up. So if you've got the mechanics to aim that thing, then I think you're in good shape. Okay, where are we at right now? Only 17... I'm better at this weapon than this. I'm mad. I'm mad. The system's bad. Alright, well... Anyway, what were the weapons I wanted to actually test? I don't think try is probably going to happen. I actually don't have one on Zap. That's interesting. And then... I don't think... I don't want to try the crab one. S-Blast might be worth trying. I think I'll do some S-Blast. The deco kit? The deco kit of what? Thanks for the donation, Paper Tees. Hooray for a Squid School stream. Good luck in your matches tonight. Also, question, what Grand Fest team did you support? Was Grand Fest, like, the, S1, S2, S3, like, past, present, and future or something? Wait, no, that wasn't how that worked. I don't remember what the theme was. I did go and see the concert. I'm really glad that someone poked me to go and at least open the game for that much. Because I definitely didn't feel like it at the time. And what was the question? What was the prompt here? I need to find a way in, and that is not going to be it. What you value the most? Definitely the future. But then, like, anyone who says past is literally living in the past. Disappointed that I didn't hit that second shot on the crab when I had the opportunity. At that point, I just kind of had to deal with its teammates since it wasn't actually going to fight me. Ooh. That did not save me. I guess, like, if you lose the past, like, maybe we're talking about, like, losing your memories or whatever. Keep getting my feet clipped right before I try to jump. Can we get... Oh, wow, we got lead off of that. I'm actually a little surprised. I don't know if I've actually successfully thrown a booyah on this game. I think I haven't. I think I've gotten canceled out of every single one so far. Seriously? Come on. Well, we still have the lead. Ooh. Oh, he sees this, right? Oh, that's a bomb. Alright, we dragged the Kraken down with us and got the crab to stop firing, so... That's actually decent value considering we didn't get a kill. Oh boy. trying to get out of the way of my Nautilus there. And there we go. Good game. Yeah, that concert was really something special. Yeah, like, if you take it from the angle of, like, memory and learning from the past, that, I could see that angle. It's only one. I don't think we'll finish the whole sequence here. I want to probably hop over and do a VOD review after another game or two, but we can start from there. Thoughts on Flings? Vanilla Flings is still a really good weapon. Like, it's still... I don't think it's been, like, nerfed or anything since it was one of the 4 weapons that got played at that one area cup. You could go back to 2 teams next game, given how awkward 3-team fests were. Nah, 4 teams. Gotta keep going with it. Because, like, in Splatoon 1, we only had 1 team, right? And that was really lame. What's the point of competing, then? They gotta keep going. Or maybe they just jump straight to 5, right? Because they've already got, you know, 4 is just... 4 is nothing. Gotta go for 5. Cool, that's one down already. I kept accidentally getting the short version of the shot when I was trying to do the long version when I jumped. That charger saved my life. I don't know if they meant to, but they absolutely did. I was hoping that I was going to get a Booyah Bomb in time and I would be able to launch it before they could shred me. Didn't quite work out. What? Oh, we had a DC. I thought someone looked like they were standing still there. Well, now it's 3v3. I didn't even have the ink for that. They probably could have killed me. have numbers. We should be able to get zone here. There we go. I got into the awkward zone there where I was too close to them and hitting the indirect damage was really hard. It's like I could go for a direct, but against a junior that's squiggling around, that's going to be hard. The AoE didn't reach. They were so weak. Oh well, teammates win this anyway. Good job, teammates. This is the best 3v3 game of Splat Zones I've ever played. Alright, well, they don't have time to get to the zone anymore. Still not opposed to a large map with every Inkling or Octoling for themselves a la Fortnite. One of the problems you run into there is what color ink they get. It's like, you're going to run out of unique colors that contrast each other. You're going to run into color blindness issues. You'd have to assign pretty large teams to them for that to work. Welcome back, Doovie. Yeah, I mean, if there is a correct answer to the Splatfest, then you have failed in creating a Splatfest. So it's gonna have to be. Gotta leave it a little vague. Gotta give people something to argue about. Yeah, and that is true. I want Tony Kensa to be the bad guy. I'm gonna give him an offer he can't reflux. I think Splatoon 4, the right answer for them is to do something more different structurally than they have done with the previous games. Like, make something more new than it has been before. So I figure they have extra dev time considering Splatoon Raiders is coming. Everyone wants apartments. It's like... It's a feature of the game that, like, wasn't related to gameplay at all. I guess it's all the Animal Crossing folk. Cool. Good take back. Very good use of specials on our part. We staggered them. We were able to hold the zone the whole time. And they got kills as well. I don't know what's coming from the left side, so I need to back up. I hate this thing. It feels so nonsensical where that special hits. Okay, well, if you choose to leave the game, that's fine by me. Got someone already watching that. Man, that one shot's from that range. Rip. I guess my jump shot is pretty short ranged. I don't want to have to aim. Ugh. Well, we did not deal with what was behind us, and now we're going to lose the lead. Oh, please stay safe. We need that reef slider badly. Well, this is really awful. I think we lose. Yeah, we definitely lose. There's no way onto the zone now. Table turf. Oh yeah, table turf as a mobile game would be sick. That's totally what that game needs. I don't see any reason that couldn't be a mobile game. Get everyone playing table turf. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. What did that put me at game-wise? Oh, I guess I have to... I think that was 3 on that weapon. Do I have a be right back screen? Let's see. This is close enough, right? Hi, Pasta Boy. Happy birthday. Awesome. Strawberry frog. Okay, we are actually going to switch over to a VOD review. I'm going to go and pull up. This is a match from the Splat World Series, is what it's called. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have this with the chat still visible. So we'll have to, might have to mess with the aspect ratio a little bit. Now, what is this going to show? Nothing. Perfect. Everything I could have hoped for. There. That's decent enough. We can be a little bit scuffed. I think I'll move us over to the left side. Okay. I have a question. Is there any Discord server where you can look for EU teams that need a member? I've been looking in the Stronghold and recruitment agency ones, and they're all NA. I wasn't under the impression that they're all NA, but as far as European stuff, if there isn't anything immediately available in Inkopolis Crosswalk, which is a big collection of community Discord servers and invites to them, the next place I would look for is if there is a server for European LANs. Anywhere that there's a LAN, obviously there are going to be European players that are going to try and go to it. And they probably have at least like some kind of channel for making a team for that LAN. So that would be a good place to go look. Please put the frog in a tiny spot in the corner for the rest of the stream. I mean, it is your birthday. Who am I to say no? We need to move frog up. Boop. Frog. Okay. I'm a professional streamer, and this is my visual design that I came up with. Teleported into Twitch chat from YouTube. Welcome over. I hope you didn't lose any of your soul while crossing the Great Divide. Thank you, Phil the Gamer. I appreciate your help on that. Inverted colors mouse? Was that what it looked like? Ooh, weird. We'll name the frog Barrytholomew. Very good, very good. Okay. I think this is about the best compromise for space I'm going to be able to have. All right, bye, make yourself lovely. Thanks for stopping by. Be back if you can. Sounds good. So this is FT Win in round of 16. So this is winners round 1. And there are 16 teams in this bracket. They're playing against a Japanese team. I haven't done any research on the Japanese players, but if they made it into this tournament, they are some of the best players in the world. And that's really all I need to know here. I'm going to go through this. Oh, one question I would have is whether you guys are able to hear the casters.
Actually coming out on the side of Utopia.
You can hear the casters. Okay. I think I will probably mute it because we're going to be doing a lot of stopping and starting, a lot of pausing and whatnot. So taking a look at comps, the way it worked for JP is top players in Area Cup or captains got to choose their team. Okay, there you go. So we've got Kiami, Art, Rubiton, and Niru. And then this is just FT win. Got Kyo, Bursty, Biscuit, and Sam. So it's... the differences are Decav Shot versus Dooley's Stamper. That's Booyah Stamper. Okay. So, pretty similar. Let's see how they decide to play it. So, we've got... someone's running all the way up here. So this must be... okay, I bet what's happening is we've got Pencil trying to go far top left early on, so that if someone drops left, they can be shooting at that right away, and there's not really an escape. I wonder if that's an adaptation based on what they saw in the opening looking at the map. So I wouldn't feel especially... well, I guess they've got two members going this way, so this might still be an okay play to make. They just need to be really careful not to get pinched over here too quickly. And then on this side, I believe this is the decav that's going this way. Yeah, that is the kind of play that they would make. So right now for FT win, this is weak side, this is strong side. If this side can stall long enough that they can kind of get rid of your decav here, then that's a W. Or if, you know, they just get a pick for free and are able to capitalize off that, that would also do it for them. Let's see how this goes. And of course the auto cam zooms in such a way that you can see neither of those things happening. Oh, the replay codes are available. I need to get me those because this camera is not going to be good. Splat World Series replay codes. Is there some kind of archival group that's collecting replay codes from tournaments and just like preserving them somewhere? I guess they would go away every patch. Oh, this tournament was 10.0. Yeah, okay, never mind. That's not going to be possible. But, okay. We keep going. So they're really not trying to go after that decav at all. Which I feel like... So decav is down there. They know decav is there. Are they just planning on ignoring the decav? They lost Kyo here. They're getting cooler. I guess maybe they just wait for Kyo to come back, but they just got... Oh, they're going to work with the crab top left. Okay, that's what they're doing. So crab comes out, and now it's go time for them to drop down here, and... Looks like Kiami saw Kyo before Kyo saw Kiami. So that just got shut down in a hurry. There is a cooler, and Crab is able to finish it off, so Sam's able to get the left-hand side here. But Bubble goes up, because they never took care of the decav. So they're going to combo this in. And this whole time, Utopia is scoring. They've got the pen up on top mid, which is shutting FT Win out of being able to do anything. There needs to be some kind of pressure on that before anything else is going to work. But Utopia has done really well here in that they've spread everybody out so that it's not easy to just rush mid down. You have to, like... If you drop mid, which is probably the safest place, like right in front of the pencil, so that it has to like aim straight down, or like the one of the four arms of the spinner in mid is in the way. If you try to do that, you're putting yourself in between the shot and the bucket. So you're going to get pinched for that. So any play you make here, you can't really pick off one of those front lines too easy because the pencil can see everything. Your best bet might be to try and come in from hard left and use the cover on left to pick the shot and the stamper here, or not the stamper, what's on the left side? The decav, that's what it is. Like your decav and the shot are on left, and you might be able to isolate them and stay out of sight of the pencil for long enough that you can get like a 4v2 and then turn to fight the pencil and the bucket. But pencil being in the way is still going to be annoying. You still need some way to pressure that off. So I feel like this is a strong position to hold from for Utopia right now. So they actually drop Bursty right and take out the bucket, which is good. They lost Sam in the meantime, and we can't really see how that happened. And we lost Kyo as well. So Bursty is the only one who really gets a win here. Bursty is going to end up going down from getting pinched there. Good job taking out the pen. Or no, was that... No. Who was that? Oh, no, that was the shot. That was the shot. Pencil being over there seems really exposed. Like, I guess they're trying to pinch between Pencil and Zuka temporarily, and then they'll retreat it. But, like, where does the Pencil retreat to? This is, like, super aggro for them. They must have some kind of plan. I guess they've got coolers, so maybe they can drop off a ledge and just super jump out. Maybe that's the idea. But who do they super jump to at this point? Well, looks like they don't really get punished. Why aren't they getting punished? So they're up against the wall here on left. And now... Are those strikes going out? No, those are... Oh, there are strikes going out. And then there's pencil shots. So we've got one of our frontliners on right. One of our frontliners is popping strikes. And then Biscuit is firing. So there's not really anybody to rush the pencil down. I don't know... I wonder about this idea. I guess they're just worried about the zone ticking down for too long, and they're looking for a safe way to neutralize. But there are enough players from Utopia out on the map that I worry that these strikes don't actually neutralize. Maybe this gives them an opportunity to go in on the pencil with a smokescreen? Bucket trades bucket there. But FT Win are in now. They need to get up and over. I guess the idea here is that the Stamper didn't have time to get over top mid, and so they're going to stay in the bottom right and try to help there how they can. Kyo gets over the top. Bursty is crabbing from here. Okay. The one thing, I guess, about this... I guess maybe the idea is that Bursty is trying to hold them back while Biscuit can now cover a different angle, cover flanks, but they're all coming from the left-hand side. I don't know what Biscuit looks at this point. It almost might have, maybe it would have been better for Bursty to go on top of the spinner in mid, and then he'd have a different angle with Biscuit. But maybe Bursty was like, oh shoot, the fight is happening now, I need to have impact now. I feel like Biscuit could be doing exactly the same thing that Bursty's doing, and then Bursty could take this and put it on top of the spinner. Because you really, what you want out of Crab on this map is to get that Crab on top of the spinner on their side, because that really locks them into their base. There's not really a way out that's easy to use when that Crab is there. So I feel like that's really where you wanted it ideally, and I don't think there was enough stopping them from getting there. You had Kyo over, you had at least a little bit of help from Sam. Like, this might have been able to get installed. I don't know. Ooh, great bomb snipe. Holy crap. That's insane. And now Kyo might need to back up. He's alive. Sam is not. And they've gone and gotten the zone, and now Kyo's just isolated and has nothing to do, so he's just going to back out. Cooler is out for Utopia. Man, this camera angle is so dreadful. This shows you nothing about what is getting set up on the map. I guess like the Splatoon devs were like, well, let's make it so it shows the zone, which sure it does, but that's not where you paint the zone from. So they've got a decav on plat here. Oh, great follow-up from... I like shot on left side here. Like, just getting a Zuka, being on the left side so that you can be a short-range shooter that stops someone from flanking there, but also, assuming there's nobody flanking there, you know there's going to be a fight on the enemy plat. You have a special that has really high impact from that spot in particular. So I think that's a good spot to play from when you're trying to lock out. IPL did make a second channel called IPL Sets. I don't know if they moved SWS to that channel or if it's still on their main YouTube. Okay. Gotcha. Should play Rivals. They actually have a cooler ult. Rivals of Ether? Like the fighting game? Yeah, not necessarily. Like the camera angle. This camera angle is just pretty weak for being able to tell what's going on. Kyo's strikes felt like they got a little bit interrupted there. There might have been a little something in the way. Beautiful shot from Bursty. And now we should be able to clean up the back end there. Great job. And now they need to get up and over and hold. And this time they've got Bursty up there as well, which is great. So Bursty's up here. I guess maybe he was trying to be sharking on the right side, but he didn't get there in time. And now he is in a lot of trouble. Oh my... Oh no, he missed! Okay, it's a trade. That's probably not what he wanted, though. JP takes this back. And now it's kind of... Ooh. The fact that they're on like one side and the other is whatever, but their Snipe Rider has a better vantage point, I think, than Biscuit does. So I feel like this is definitely Utopia favored right now. And again, another thing I'm not liking that I'm seeing here. So Bursty, he goes up into the cheese spot here where you can get the extra height for the crab, which is cool. Thing is, Biscuit's already covering that spot. Biscuit already has the exact same... Bursty and Biscuit are standing on each other's toes a lot in this game. And it just feels like you could get more coverage between those two weapons if you were putting them further apart from each other. We'll see how it works out, but I could definitely see this position getting collapsed on pretty hard. Sam doesn't get his Booyah Bomb off. Now the crab is threatened. It's able to take someone out. So it's 1-for-1. Oh, and they get the slosher somehow that I'm not going to be able to see. Decent trades so far. FT Win still hasn't capped, though, and there is a decav they have to remove from the zone. Biscuit is just trying to paint. Sam went down somewhere. This is still not a push you can really take back. You can stall a little bit. Kyo gets one. They just... Okay, the Zuka... Ooh, not able to keep himself safe from the Zuka either. This is just game over. So it felt like the entire time Utopia was able to put their pencil someplace better than Biscuit had access to. And on top of that, every time Crab happened, it was like somewhere that Biscuit was already covering anyway. So it felt a little... No, that's not true. There was the one that was hitting shots on the backside of Zone that got a couple of picks for FT Win. They were able to get a push off that. So that one was good. But, like, the one top mid that we saw, the one at the end that we saw, like, we're just crabbing on the same place that our anchor is already controlling. It feels like you're going to get diminishing returns from those. Let's see what we're doing next. Wahoo World. Is it zones? Okay, it's zones. Right? Yeah, that's zones. No change of comp for either side. So now we've got the kind of traditional spot for Rubyton. Biscuit isn't even trying to take that same mirrored spot. Biscuit's trying to play from right. So are they trying to like funnel people to rush across glass and then ambush them? Interesting. Bursty, nice job there. So I like what Bursty was doing with the slope there. Bursty recognized that like they were standing on slightly lower ground and they could use the slope to make shots harder to hit for the decav. So that was really well played, and they were just arcing their shots up over the top. So clean fight win there, but they lost Biscuit somehow in the meantime, which is a huge loss of paint and backline pressure. We'll see if Bursty can make up for it with the crab here. That probably, yeah, well played there from Bursty. Kind of methodically forces the pencil out of play. And that should hopefully give them time to cap zone, I would think would be their goal at this point. Enemy team is going to back up as soon as they see the crab pushing the pencil back. You know, pencil's not there to relieve pressure for them. So I think painting's probably the goal here. How's it going, EQ? I don't know what the decav's plan was there. It's not like you're going to combo the pencil, and it's not like some... Oh, okay, maybe the idea was you hit the pencil once and then try to get your pencil to land the other shot. Maybe that's what they were going for. Either that or they're just saying, hey, look at me, instead of whatever else is happening. Pencil just painting zone in one charge. Yep, that's how that works. That's what they're here to do. Leader is in play. We saw a lot of counterpicking Urchin against the leader team. And then the leader team counterpicks the eel tail. Interesting. Okay. Lord Cheesepuff, is this a scrim or a tournament? This is Splat World Series, which was a major international tournament. FT Win is one of the best teams in North America. And then Utopia is apparently the number 6 Area Cup invitee. The way that I'm told that it worked was that Area Cup winners got to each be captains of a team for this tournament. So Japan is much more about like pickup teams and just having a lot of experience with a lot of different teammates rather than having the set teams that we have more often in the West. So this is kind of a way that they're comfortable playing. But let's see how this goes. So 2 down. Wow, that just kind of covered everything. It's really brave to like do that much movement before you ever put out a shot, but if they don't zero you out and you do squid roll, so you're going to armor at least some of it, Sam moved close enough that his dash was going to hit them regardless of where they went. So that was super cool. That's not the way I would have thought to play it, but that was definitely optimal. I guess the big thing is you're counting on them not hitting every single shot, but also if they hit every single shot, I don't know that there's anything you can do. They're launching a lot of specials. Oh, and Kyo goes down. I feel like if they're able to stay alive through those specials, that FT win is fine. Losing Kyo might start things snowballing the wrong way. We'll see. There is a crab out, which might be able to... Ooh, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, they were able to make use of the AoE there as they tried to come to the choke points. Good stuff. All right, FT win really close now to just KOing. One more fight will determine it. It looks like there's a lot of pressure coming, and I feel like the specials are going to start coming out. Yeah. They might need to recap to be able to win this game. This is a little brave. Okay. Well, they know where Biscuit is now, so he just has to leave. Decav trying to sneak in. See if they know about it. I think he's just going off of the map. But yeah, that's hard to beat at that point. Okay, so this is a stronghold so far. Oh, and they got another and another. Oh, man, those jumps were not safe. They're too eager to get back in. Now this is possible KO. Do we get a booyah up? Okay, that'll hit the back of zone, but they just don't have the paint right now. Yeah, nobody was able to get there. Jeez. That decav flank was rough. And then they were just a little bit too eager to jump in, even though there was already someone behind them. That's just kind of how fast... Zones can be really volatile. Like, you don't get that many chances before you get KO'd. I think that was, like, NA's last opportunity. Let's see what Grand Finals looked like. Let's look at those two. Whoa, that was a big jump. Hi, how is your name pronounced? Magile? 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 The answer to that question is not just yes, because then I don't know which one of those you were acknowledging. Fragile. Okay, Magile. Thank you. Okay, so Lobster and Nyagora playing together with Ray. Okay, those are... That is a disgusting super team. And then I feel like I should know these names on Samurai Cat. I recognize the name of the team, but I don't recognize the players. But like Niagara and Melon for like years and years were trading off the X Power records. Lobster, I believe, is a new contender in that arena as well. And then Ray has been playing NZAP as a support for, I don't know, almost a decade now. Like I've been seeing that Zap player in on top level Japanese teams for a long time. Crazy, this stream is worthy of me wearing my furry paws to it. I mean, none of us can see them, so I don't know to what extent you're wearing it to the stream, but I'm glad that you've found it to be worthy. Jem, if they made a Splatoon show with actual characters and motivations and stakes, cool stuff, sort of themes would you want them? They could make it kind of like a sports story where the team is trying to reach the top. If you were trying to make it based on Splatoon lore, you could get into some weird kind of sci-fi concepts. You could also just make it some light slice of life, fluffy, you know, high art concept, like lots of fashion and character design effort put into it. Crazy how they all run stealth jump. Not particularly. Stealth jump is just really powerful. It's the best way to make it safe to jump back into someone. Drop roller is only really ever even considered on something like a special with a recall, so you can roll away from your recall because you're not going to get stealth jump on that. But even then, stealth jump, a lot of people will tell you they still like stealth jump better. Getting someone in saves you so much time, and time is such an important resource. It really is kind of the only resource if you think about it in a certain way. So it's just too much value to pass up. I'm doing all right, Sheep Aggression. Thanks for asking. Okay, so the blaster immediately gets picked. It looks like, what happens there? Oh, they just dumped 3 players on left stack to catch whoever was coming a little too close to that. So that's a player down, and that's one of their main fighting weapons down, so they should hopefully be able to move in at this point. Right side is still going to be a important... right stack, I should say, is still going to be an important stronghold for them to take. But they can spread out around it. Oh, beautiful movement from Lobster to not die there. Like, they were going to get the splats anyway, but... So, like, the squid roll up, the full combo as you're falling off the ledge to dodge the shots, and Niagara is already on zone. This is in 10 seconds. Like, this is faster than a cooler can possibly be charged. And they've already got 3 down. That's so fast. I guess they can kind of... Because you know that they're going to put someone on left stack. There's going to be paint there. But maybe you can kind of disguise your numbers by, like, making it look like there are only 1 or 2 people there. And then you have all 3, and they just dive at you immediately, and you didn't see it coming. Maybe that's the idea there. But this is a full, like, midline fighting comp. They've got 3 weapons with very good range, 2 of which have strong AoE to navigate the stage with, and then they're just running a cooler to get them all back in. Whereas Samurai Cat is trying to play a little bit slower. They have an E leader, so quick targeted strikes on spots the E leader can't see would probably be the optimal play here. We'll see how it plays out, but Invincible Fleet, if they're able to get into the base, can make it really hard for the E leader to get out, and this might be a really solid lockout position now. Pretty new to the game, having a hard time tracking players. Do you focus your eyes on the reticle in close range fights or on the player themselves? That is a really good question. So, the thing about the reticle is that you might need to lead your shots a little bit on an opponent. You can't just aim at someone and use the X to know that you're for sure going to hit them, especially with longer ranged or slower projectile speed weapons. So I find that it's helpful to use the reticle as a visual reference, but you do need to be tracking where the opponent is going, and the important thing is you need to kind of try to pick up on patterns of where the opponent is moving. It's much more helpful to have like a vector understanding of an opponent's position than just to know where they are right at this second. Like, you want to know both where they are and what direction they're moving and how fast. If you don't have that, then it's going to be really hard to hit them because this game is super fast. But you do absolutely... That's a great question, because that's one of the things that you will have to work on early on, is just being able to see the game. You learn to see this game first, and then how to play it second. You can't make the right decision based on information you don't have. Feel comfortable up until they dip into ink and then reappear. Get lost on my screen. Over time, what you start looking for are ripples in the ink. So this is kind of low quality, but this kind of splashing that we're seeing on screen right here from Niagara, this is what you want to start looking for. Disturbance in like the smooth ink there. If you look for like an inkling, if you look for something of that color, that shape, that size, then as soon as they drop down, you're not looking for the right thing anymore. But if you look for splashes, now you have something to aim for. Not using motion controls because of carpal tunnel. Oh, okay. As long as you've got your camera reasonably centered, the way that a lot of people are going to play is they'll use the right stick to get their camera in like 85% the right spot, and then the fine tuning, the like 15%, is what they use the motion for. So I don't think you're going to have that much of an issue with tracking just because of that aspect. What'll be harder is actually getting your reticle on the target. And like, there are definitely people who do pretty well with it, but at the same time, it is an objective disadvantage. And I say that meaning that you can move your motion controls faster than you can possibly move the stick controls. So that's the part that's going to be a little bit harder. And I'm sure somebody's probably explained that to you, because that's the only thing that people ever say to new Splatoon players is, are you using motion? Are you using motion? You should use motion. Motion is really good. And like, yes, it is objectively better, like I said, but also there are legitimate reasons, like you're citing, for not using it. So can't play fast anymore, just dying out of players better. One thing that I have seen work a little bit better for stick players is to use a weapon that doesn't require quite as fine of aim. So something like your tri-sloshers, blasters, something where you can be close, and close actually counts for something. It actually also works surprisingly well with something like a charger. Chargers, if they position right, don't have to snap to aim at someone very often. it's helpful to be able to do because you can hide your laser that way, but there are definitely ways to hide your laser without having to flick. So that's also a possibility. Abyss is asking, do you have any recommendation for improving awareness and collecting information? One of my teammates has trouble keeping track of game state. I'm not sure how to help them beyond keep track of stuff, look at map, etc. I do have a bunch of videos on this. So the video that I would have them watch first is my video on what I call psychological alarm bells. Let me see if I can find that really quickly, and I'll just drop a link to it in chat. There it is. Okay. There that is for you, Twitch chat, and I'll just throw this into YouTube chat as well. That's probably the most all-encompassing and important one. Okay, here we go. So we've got these midline weapons just sharking under ledges, not wanting to challenge the leader out on an open sight line, which makes sense. They weren't able to get up over the top, so they're just going to slosh. Excuse me. It's not on them to actually be doing anything yet. And that also lets them wait until they get their cooler. Somebody slipped by, though. And that forces them back to recap zone. And Ray has cooler there, and they know they're going to lose zone anyway, so they figure might as well see if I can go for a trade. So Dread comes around left thinking that they can contest, but that gets picked real quick because they spot it with the blaster. And the blaster can hit over there too. Oh, and the other thing that's happening is I think there's a burst bomb that gets thrown from the splash. So that's like, yeah, feet painted, blaster hits very quick. So they're not trying to get anywhere near that ledge, knowing there's so many weapons that can hit over it. And they also have an E-liter backing them up, so if someone does drop from the ledge, there might be shots that the E-liter can take. Ooh, they get two there. That's huge. Oh, but that was a cap from the Reef Slider. So good stall for Invincible Fleet to keep their lead longer. Crab. Where's it going to go up? Crab goes up on, the stack, but it's going to get shredded right away. They can't hold it there. I like the Booyah. Oh, Booyah should get them some value. Yeah, they get 2 for 1. Beautiful push there from the splash. They're being a little bit more conservative on the hold, but it's working for them. They're getting picks when they need to keep the hold, I think is the big thing. Like this S-Blast player has been popping off. S-Blast is down. They're diving in because they have to. Dread finally takes left stack. I think Invincible Fleet has been counting on that Dread to be able to take stack by itself, and it's been going in very aggressively for that, and they kind of punished that. Samurai Cat punished that on the last attempt. Playing Junior, focusing grenades on objective. I can climb more this way against better players since I have a MOBA background. Junior does get a lot of value out of motion aim in that it's able to move faster and paint better if it has it. If you are trying to play objective really hard, something like a blaster would be great for you. Maybe like maybe like a rapid or something like that. It's like I could see like rapid deco or something. You can throw torpedoes, which aim themselves. I guess you don't get really easy access to the combo there. I don't know. It's what I usually see people try to do is like try slosher in that kind of situation. That or maybe like blob lobber. Yeah, no problem. How about Splatoon users? Do they profit from the stick, or is motion control better? So the thing about motion controls is that you do still get access to the stick, like, and that's part of why it's so objectively better. Like, let's look at this for a second. So, like, right now I'm turning my camera using the stick, and now let's see if I can get this right. I'm going to use a combination of motion and the stick to do some insane flicks. Like, you don't get access to that speed with just sticks. This is the fastest sticks can possibly go. And it's not bad, but it's not instant 180 like you can do otherwise. So that's the advantage there. That's just to be clear on what we're talking about, like why you use one over the other. What stampers can do, given motion, is like they can initiate a dash and whip their aim somewhere else in the middle of it. So it's kind of like how a blaster, like, what you're trying to do a lot of the time is keep tracking the target as the shot is coming out. Oh, actually, Dynamo is a much better example of how this works. So, like, this is a moving target. If I aim at it right now and then finish my swing, I miss, right? But I don't have to just lock my aim right there. I can be moving it to adjust as the target goes. And that's something that you have the ability to do on the Stamper. Just only if you have that ability with motion, because that's, you can do this, I guess. Aiming at this. So that's how far off you can go. Whereas with motion, like, that's the difference in the angle that you've got there. That's actually a pretty good illustration of why motion's good. Like to watch what the Splash is doing, what other top level players are doing. So these matches are going to be streamed by a tournament organizer, and as such, they're going to be using the spectator cam. But a lot of the time, you can, if you're watching like these kinds of events go down on social media, the top players might release replay codes. What you're looking for are the replay codes. Like, you want to be able to load this into your Switch, and then you can put the perspective on whomever you want. There are also people who are going to stream their points of view playing these weapons, so that's also something you can look for. right now, so if you're looking for specifically the Splash, who is someone who's streaming Splash right now? I've been on hiatus recently, so it might be harder for me to think of who it would be right now. But I'm sure someone in stream chat has an idea. Um, Now these players that we're watching are Japanese, and so it's a little bit more difficult for people to find those VODs just because there's a language barrier. But there is also a video that's in my watch later that I need to go check out that's about how to find VODs of Japanese play. Because I know that the resources are out there. I know that they're trying to teach the game as best they can. We just need to kind of figure out where to look. So let's go back into this. So Invincible Fleet takes control back. They don't have quite as much time to set up, and Lobster gets isolated a little bit there. They overload the side that Lobster's on, which is interesting because last time what happened was they had like 3 members. Invincible Fleet had 3 members holding right here. And that makes a lot of sense because this is where you probably imagined the E-Leader is going to be too. So it's curious to me that this time all they've got here really is Lobster, and they throw everyone around on the right side. Maybe they thought that the enemy team would respect them being there too much and not aggress from here quickly. But yeah, this push falls apart pretty quick unless Niagara absolutely pops off here. Ooh, and Lobster jumped into that too and died. So, huge win there for Samurai Cat. Felt a little bit disjointed from Invincible Fleet. Like they either were expecting Lobster to hold position for longer or just kind of took fights in separate places. That Booyah's not going to do anything. I mean, I guess it's going to stall. But also they split up so hard that... So trade, and this should be Cap going over, yeah. Wow. Wow, that was brave. Oh, and he dies anyway. Just kind of threw himself out there. This is going to be hard for Invincible Fleet to push. Man, it's so insane how fast... So, like, Samurai wins this fight, gets up on here, gets charge, and there's already so much pressure on the right-hand side. Like, you've got the Splash rushing them down with these burst bombs. Like, somebody just said go, and they went. Ooh, they don't know about Lobster, though. And Lobster's going to be able to get out of there safely enough. That doesn't get shredded. 1 for 1. Fleet needs zone soon, but they do have a lot of resources to get it. Oh, but they just lost a big one. Oh, that might actually just be game. Yeah, losing the Dread there was huge. The Dread did not accomplish as much as I think they were hoping it would. It wasn't able to take a lot of positions aggressively. They weren't getting the Reef Slider off in places where they needed it. Like, even the one time that they did use it on zone, it kind of whiffed. It wouldn't have solo capped. I guess maybe they did that on purpose to try and give themselves a little more cover from the crab. But yeah, that seemed like a point of weakness there. That and the fact that they didn't quite have as unified of a plan on Lockout after that first push. Hello, Baja. Okay. Any changes? No changes to Invincible Fleet. Samurai Cat has swapped Leader and Splash for Mini and Bucket. Leader and Splash. So they're a lot less about holding from high ground and a lot more about being able to push in aggressively and bully the fighting weapons out. Are there any blasters you would recommend that don't require jumping? Most blasters... So, on one hand, jumping with a blaster always makes its aim worse. So, a lot of the time you prefer not to if you can help it. But the problem is that jumping is the only way that you're going to be able to move basically at all while shooting with any of the blasters. A rapid is the one that's definitely going to jump the least, though. So if you want to play more of a backline weapon, something like a Rapid or a Rapid Pro. I'm a big Rapid Deco fan, but that's because I like Inkjet so much. I would definitely recommend, if you're interested in that, taking a look at this Rapid that has Cooler, or also the blue one, which might be a little further back. Oh my god, how far back is this thing? These two. The Cooler one is probably the one that's going to see the most use right now, but the Line Marker one is cool in that it has a lot of damage combos, and the Whale would also combo with fights that you can't see across the map, so I wouldn't discount it completely, but I think this is the one that most people are probably interested in right now. Well, I feel silly. Sorry about that. These two. So this is the Tacticooler one is the one that people are playing the most, I would imagine, right now. But this one has a lot going for it as well. So everything else, I like this one too, but that's more of a personal thing. I don't know how popular it is competitively. It seems like it's only been getting shoved further and further back by meta updates. Range blasters and everything shorter range than that is probably going to take some jumping, unless you want to get into Clash. But Clash is, as a main weapon, is pretty low tier. This kit is really strong, but the main weapon is still weak enough that you're probably not going to see too much benefit from it once you get to higher levels. Still, Clash is definitely a good option if you don't want to have to aim too hard or not want to have to jump, just because like this explosion radius is kind of redonkulous. One sec. Like, that's how far off you can be. So, that is definitely a feature of that weapon. Try jumping more often. I tend to just stand there and attack. So if you're going to try jumping with a blaster, the one thing I will say is you need to be running some Intensify action. When you jump, I'll go back to the game for a second. Let's grab this. So on my reticle, you will see a circle in the middle, and then you'll see these 4 lines surrounding that circle. Now, those 4 lines indicate aim RNG. They indicate how far off can this shot be from where I'm aiming it when I pull the trigger. So you can see, like right here, it's going to the same place every time. But look at what happens when I jump. See how those lines jump way out? So now, see how those are going in pretty dramatically different places? There's a lot of randomness when you jump. And so, am I running it? Yeah, I'm running a main of Intensify action, and that cuts down on that. It's going to be even worse when I take this off. See how much bigger that is now? So that's the risk you take when you jump with a blaster. And if you're not going for directs, that's fine because this still hits them. But if you are going for directs, good luck with that, I guess. See, that was directly on target and it just whiffed. So yeah, intensify action going to be important if that's something that you're going to try and do. You try and take the shots grounded if you can. If you need to be moving while you fire, then you jump. And one thing you might also notice is that as I descend to the ground, you see how the corners come further in the further I am to the closer I am to the ground. So if you're going to jump and shoot, you have a better chance of hitting if you wait until you're close to the ground to fire again. It's a Jared raid! What's up, everybody? For those who don't know, Jared is a top-level player, one of the absolute top-level players in North America. And they stream a lot. They've got some good educational content out there. Definitely worth checking out both on Twitch and on YouTube. Jared, what have you been playing recently? Are you still on Vanilla Dualies, or have you swapped onto something else lately? I'm asking because we had some people asking, like, hey, where do I go to watch such and such a weapon? And I'm trying to come up with my mental list of who plays what these days. Zebra Dooley Squelchers. Lost all his series with... Okay. I know that, like, Jared, I remember back from Splatoon 2 playing the Dooley Squelchers a lot. And now, I know he's got a vanilla Doolies, the crab version of it, and that's seeing a lot of use. So, okay. Well, welcome. How did shot accuracy differ in S1 versus S2 or 3? I think it worked this... Oh, no. Wait, no. Blasters totally could just aim perfectly in the air in that game, if I remember correctly. I think this mechanic of the corners that go out and then shrink back, I think that's only been a thing since Splatoon 2. So, understandably, it made jump shots absolutely busted with things like the range blaster in S1. In comp, just normal Dooley and Dapple and Rainmaker. Got it. Thanks, Kyo. Follow Kyo also if you are a bucket player or just want to know things about the video game. Kyo is one of the players from FT Win, which was we were actually looking at the Splat World Series set a little while ago. And they are also one of the best players in North America. Thanks for the shout out there, Jamie. So, this is Urchin. So I'm curious to see this because I haven't played Urchin in a competitive context yet, and I haven't really seen it played in a competitive context at top level. So I'm really curious to see how they play this. It looks like it's going to be pretty scrappy. They're not picking like E-Liter again, which they were on Splash E-Liter last time, and they swapped that out for the Mini and Bucket. Has the de-rusting process been going? So the title of this stream isn't supposed to be de-rusting. I literally went in manually to Twitch and changed it and hit save and restarted the stream, and it still hasn't caught on that I'm trying to change the stream title. But in any case, de-rusting is going okay. There's definitely some gap since I've been here. Like, I stopped practicing for a good year or so. And I can tell that there's that gap there. Also, though, it's a little bit harder for me to judge because there's just nobody in the NA server anymore. I was staying in the NA server because I wasn't getting up to that like 2600 level or so, where before I left, that was where you stopped being able to get games. But now that level is like 2100. Like I'm pretty close to like top 200 on NA right now, and I would not have been like that if everybody who's actually in NA is on that server. So I just need to swap to the JP servers next season. I need to bite the bullet and start dealing with the lag, I guess, because that's the only way that I'm actually going to get a reasonable ranked climb out of it anymore. Okay. And then I'm going to get started here, and let's see what we can see. Also, okay, interesting, they're running Haunt. I need to look into that again. I think I built something like that for Tetris once a long time ago. But okay, Nyagora is asserting himself on this side here. And this is a little scary because if they don't delete him right away, now you've got Lobster following up. And Lobster is going to know exactly where you are and what you're looking at from you aiming at Nyagora. So they need to either zero Nyagora out or shift completely over. And shifting completely over probably surrenders zone. Oh, and this is also happening right as the cooler comes out. This is something that Invincible Fleet has done twice now, where they're just trying to rush the opening before the other team gets cooler. They're even running cooler themselves, but they're trying to like win before that can happen, and they're trying to beat that cycle. So it worked last game, where that was how they got their biggest push. They did lose last game, but like the opening was really good for them. I'm curious to see if it works this time, because like if Nyagora doesn't get a pick and if Lobster isn't able to like follow up, this could just be feeding. So we'll see how this goes. Can't see the game. Oh my god. I have not been good about that. Mr. Streamer, please. So say hi to Strawberry Frog. Strawberry Frog is here because there was a birthday squid in the chat who wanted Birthday Frog to be on the screen for the rest of the stream. So that's why they're there. Funnier this way. Yeah, so to repeat all of that briefly, Nyagora is up here on the top of the screen, and this is very beginning of the game. They just rushed left immediately, and this is like a really critical moment here where if Nyagora gets a pick or Lobster's able to follow up and get two, then they've gotten a fight win before the enemy team gets cooler and they have complete control of the zone. If Nyagora doesn't get anything and gets zeroed out here by Samurai Cat and the threat is neutralized, then Gambit lost. Nyagora can actually back off, which is crazy. But you can see, like, even when they didn't get a pick until just now, that still meant that they got zone. Because they shoved Samurai Cat so far to the right with that play. So insane, like, limit test there from Nyagora. And now they should be able to... with the S-Blast out of the way, I can't imagine Munya gets very far here. Okay, they do trade Nyagora back. Oh, and not getting the Reef off was actually huge there. So the Reef would have blown everything up, but because they went down, good snowball from Samurai Cat, and now they're going to be in the way. Except that Lobster says no. So strikes are only going to stall here. They have... they have a bunch of specials, and they're waiting a pretty long time to go in on this. So they need to get value out of these specials, or else Samurai Cat will have kind of already waited it out and have time to get back in. So they're holding this to force Samurai Cat to move. The Booyah might force the other Booyah out. It does. This is really aggressive Dread play. Oh, no. And they get 2 for that. That's crazy. Insane solo play there. Okay. Invincible Fleet are running in really, really aggressively in a lot of situations where they're outnumbered and just kind of counting on their weapons to be able to win the fight for them. There's teamwork in the sense that they're going to shoot at people who are distracted, especially by their teammates, but also there are a lot of these fights where they're having to stay in there for a while before they're going to get any help. Okay, Nyagor's spotted, but does it matter? Not really. They're going to be able to shove back really hard. Man, that guy was dead if he stayed for another millisecond. Yeah, this is a strong hold now from Invincible Fleet. Very, very, very fast-paced. Wow. They're like going right up to the battle line, right up to, the point on the objective line. And they're kind of circling like sharks, waiting for an opportunity to, like, dip across the line, poke at someone, and then squid roll back. And that's really powerful with the weapon comp they've got, because there's just so much poke, so much, like, opportunity to chip someone down there. I saw someone say VOD isn't on stream, but that was from earlier, and I was like, oh god, did I just go through all of that again? A what hold? A stronghold? I don't remember what I said. All right, here we go. Oh, hey, it's Bluey. Is Bluey here? I didn't see them in the chat. Huh. So that 36-1 game, the silly comp idea was that our goal was to get one player as many splats as we possibly could in one game. We were trying to, like, dive their team and lose fights to specifically that player. Like, the goal was actually splat everybody else on their team so that that one player would be able to splat us. And also to, like, leave the zone neutral or whatever objective it was. Like, not push the objective so that we could get them those kills. Okay, and we've got our alarm system ringing over here. Oh no, the support has died. They're like the canary in the coal mine. Can Dread seriously hold 1v2 like that? That's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, Invincible Fleet got a really good hold. Wait, Gem, are you bringing back Silly Comp Sundays? Yes, that is absolutely happening. That is happening this coming Sunday for the Splatfest. We're all on Team Friends. They have to play Bluefin? Samurai Cat picked Bluefin? Oh, it's so they can play leader. Okay, fine. Japan seems a lot more willing to play the maps we don't like. Maybe it's just like Area Cup. Maybe it's the culture of the game being closer to Nintendo. I don't know, but here we are. Um, and that was a bit of a weird spot to use the Zuka from, I think. Like, it sees a lot, obviously, but you know the enemy team has a leader. And you know they're probably going to. Maybe the point of the Zuka was to try and counter the leader, but you also. You need to surprise them somehow, and that didn't seem like a surprise. Okay, so it's just this splash. Wow. Insane. Insane. It is a blaster, so like you can't be quite so excited, but the movement to get there and actually be in position to take the shot was crazy. So Bucket goes down instantly, and Zuka gets two. This is easy flip, unless Sumeru. Yeah, okay. I was like, maybe they're the best player in the world. I don't know. They're close. Ooh, that's a big pick with the crab. It makes it a lot more difficult for them to come back in now. Lobster wins those. Very good positioning. Good fight to take. Gets in a little bit too greedily, though. Yeah, there's still control down there. It's another 20 ticks off the zone at least. Even if not KO. Ooh, good fight. They caught the Dread here facing the zone to paint and just came out of their blind spot. Had a good two-player follow-up so that if someone came to try and trade back, they were going down too. Yeah, sorry, Nyagora. You are insane with the fall off. You are sick with it. However, comma, this is a bucket. So they're going to try and get a pick and then pop? Booyah. That seems... Oh, they're just going to booyah the crab now. Or the zone. Interesting. I'm surprised that was the priority. Because it feels like the crab would have been an easy pick. Oof. Oh, okay. That was a little bit of a camera glitch. Samurai Cat is seed 7. They're seed 13. They're invitee number 7. There were 8 teams, I think, from Japan that qualified through Area Cup. And this is one of those teams. And I think they... the seeding might be a little bit deceptive because I believe what they do is rig the seeding so that you end up with like Japan versus foreign country, Japan versus foreign country for every round one. I think that's the way that it works. Japan, you know, they get to play against each other all the time, but this is the opportunity to get the international competition. And so they're not going to try and have like NA team kills in this rare opportunity for us to actually get international competition. This is going to be hard to push into because they have that use of the reef slider to cancel out specials. So they need to just win fights and force their way in. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Well played from Invincible Fleet. All they had to do was keep painting the square. And Samurai Cat had to both paint the square and move up, which means they weren't going to paint the square as much. Oh, they're actually Seed 7? Okay. Six JP and 6 NA, but all JP repairs wasn't much. I mean, rigging the seeding doesn't mean anyone was trying to cheat or anything like that. It means that they were trying to get international competition to happen. That's a completely valid reason to change the seeding like that. We've got Zuka, Mini, Bucket, Zap. So, what was it? They had a Dread before. So Garando was playing Dread, and then this was Nigora's Nautilus. Then this... Okay. This all makes sense. These are weapons that we've seen them use, I think. Sumeru, I'm pretty sure, played Shot at some point here. Maybe not. Maybe they've only played Splash, but it is a pretty simple thing to flex between. That is something I should probably pull back out and dust off my Vanilla Splash. I haven't played that in a minute. So Lobster has installed himself in the base. And that should be a dead blaster, I think. Maybe not. Their movement is just good. You got the shot somewhere there. And Lobster cleans that up, presumably. Maybe not. Okay, leader gets one, and that should be a way back in. Beautiful shot. And now they should be able to take zone. Yeah, because they've got strikes. Wow, that's such an insane fast zone cap. So this zone is one of the biggest zones in the game, and it's really well known for being difficult to cap fast. But they seem to have labbed out a plan here where they cap it as fast as possible by spreading their paint out to specific corners of it. So that's really cool. That's something that, like, if you're on a coordinated team, you can work to set up. So Lobster is still behind them. Which does pose something of a concern. All right. They're able to hold there. But they're 2 down, so they probably lose cap. Yeah. And then... And we don't really see exactly how they went down, but one imagines it has something to do with Lobster. That fight went really badly for Invincible Fleet. They didn't stall for very much time. Great pick on the back end by Garando here. Oh, but they still lose there. Is Garando just like the English word grand? Is that like the Japanese spelling of it? Man, it cut away from the fight as soon as it started. Man, sniper players are terrifying. Like, they can just, like, sit there calmly next to a bomb until the exact second they know they have to move and then nail a shot like that. They have no nerves. believe that's correct. Cool, thanks. Okay, points are ticking. Something needs to happen here. Lobster needs to get out of there. So that didn't work. But at least they're alive, and now they have cooler. So they're not going to get immediate cap back. They also don't get any picks. There's one. Coming from Ray, of all people, the support. Alright, they got it done. The game goes on. Lobster is absolutely popping off under there, which is crazy considering the mental stack that he has to be on. Like, can we just go back and watch the movement that he had to use to stay safe there for a second? So we're looking bottom right. So they know Lobster's here already. So they throw bombs. They try to paint. He gets one. He has to jump over a wave breaker now. He has to dodge these slosher flicks. Still alive. Gets a second one. Wow. And Lobster's still alive, I think? Did he go down at all? He's still there. He's still there. Oh, he goes down there. But the damage was done at that point. So they were so far away from zone that whole time. Hey, Mason. Welcome back. Best of 5. So that's it, right? Yeah, that's all. All right. I think that's a pretty good place for us to call it for now. I have something else I've got to get off to in a short amount of time here. But thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm going to go and see if I can coordinate a raid here. It has not been the easiest thing in the world to get back into. But we're going to go and watch Becca here, who is playing her Clash Blaster. Thanks, everybody. And I'm going to drop her Twitch stream in the YouTube chat, in case anyone wants to follow along that way. That should get you there. I'm going to double check to make sure it gets you there. Yeah, it gets you there. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday for Silly Comp Sunday. That'll be during the Splatfest, so that ought to be a good one. And we have a bunch of comps that are very silly to try and play, potentially fail to play. We will see. Catch you guys later.